Secrets of Droon, The Hidden Stairs and the Magic Carpet. We are on Chapter 3, Groggles and Nins. Thwang! Another arrow flew at them. Suddenly, flying lizards were everywhere. The riders on their back were getting their bows ready for another shot. Run, back up to my house, Eric shouted. We can't, Julie said. The steps are disappearing. Look! She pointed. The stairs were fading into the mist, vanishing into the pink sky. Oh no, cried Neil. I knew this would happen. Thwang! A third flaming arrow shot by. Follow me to the bottom, Eric yelled. We can hide in the trees. He rushed down, jumping 2 steps with every jump. But the steps were disappearing under him. No, he cried. He tumbled into the air. Ah! Julie screamed. Neil shouted, Grab onto the... Eric didn't hear the rest. He fell like a rock through the trees. Branches snapped and cracked under him. Oomph! Eric moaned when he finally hit the ground. He lay there facing the sky for a second. He couldn't remember where he was. Can you imagine what that would feel like? Falling through trees, cracking branches, and then landing on the ground. Thud! And then looking up in the sky. Like, whoa, what just happened? Then he saw the giant lizards circling lower. Caw! Caw! They dived toward him. Holy cow! Eric tried to crawl under a bush. Ouch! My ankle! He groaned. He must have hurt it in the fall. He could hardly move. The lizards swept even closer to the treetops. When they swooped, Eric saw the riders clearly. Their skin was as bright and shiny as red crayons. Oh man, I must be dreaming, he whispered to himself. A really bad dream, too. It's bad, said a voice, but it's no dream. Eric turned his head. Who's that? Shh! Suddenly, the bushes before him began to move, and someone leaped out at him. It was a girl. She was dressed in a blue tunic. A thick brown belt was wound around her waist. Caw! Caw! The lizard swooped again. The girl picked up a pebble. She threw it hard. It hit a distant tree with a loud smack. Over there, cried a lizard rider, pointing to the tree. The lizards flew away. Whoa, cool move. Eric looked into the girl's green eyes. Her skin was as pale as a cloud. But who are you? Kia, she said. You must be from the upper world. How did you get here? Eric blinked when he thought of how to tell her. I sort of fell. You picked the worst place in all of Droon. Lord Spar is very close. His red nins are everywhere, hunting for me on their flying groggles. Hey, the chapter was called Groggles and Nins. So we just learned that the red guys, the ones that are the color of the red crayon, those are called nins. And the lizards, the flying lizards, are called groggles. Lord Spar, Eric repeated. Nins? Groggles? Did you hurt yourself? The girl pressed her finger on Eric's ankle. Ouch! Eric grunted. It's probably sprained. Then the girl opened a small leather pouch on her wrist. She sprinkled some sparkly dust on Eric's ankle. Better? His leg began to tingle. He moved his foot. The pain's gone. How did you do that? Never mind, said the girl. She began to scribble on a piece of paper. You have to help me. Find Galen and tell him to send this message to my father, King Zello. King, Eric repeated. You're a princess? There they are. Get them, a voice cried out from above. Okay, so here's a picture. I don't know where the other 2 kiddos went. But there's one of the groggles, and the nin must be up on top of him, and then here's the Kia, the princess, and Eric. Flap, flap! The lizards dived suddenly toward Kia and Eric. They flapped to the ground and their red riders leaped off. The nins have spotted us, Kia cried. She pushed the wrinkled scrap of paper into Eric's hand. Lord Spar is a wizard. He's pure evil. He will stop at nothing to conquer Droon. Now hurry, you'll find Galen in his tower. Tower, said Eric. I can't find any tower. I've got to find my friends and get home. The girl looked into his eyes. If you're from the upper world, you'll need help getting home. If you do this for me, I promise to help you. Now, I'll distract them while you go. Hurry! Without another word, Kia leaped away swiftly like a cat. The leaves fluttered above her, and Eric looked up. A strange white bird was gliding over the trees. The bird seemed to be following her. There, one Nin yelled. The princess! The red creatures broke branches and tore at leaves to get to Kia, but she only ran faster. I don't believe any of this, Eric said. He scrambled up from the ground and dashed down a narrow path after the princess. A stone bridge lay ahead of him. Maybe if he got there, before the Nins, he could somehow help Kia escape. He had to try. Eric raced towards the bridge. Get him! Cried a voice. A hand came from nowhere. It grabbed Eric. It pulled him to the ground. And that's the end of chapter 3. Chapter 4 is called At the Bridge. And we will read that tomorrow. See you guys later.